Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I am your Dungeon Master, All-Dragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon Miacc, who's a human fighter from an asteroid near Brow.
I am Cape Sword. I play Darrakar Zakhan. He is a Minotaur fighter from Brawl.
Hi everyone, I'm Dakamisama and I play Solas Ebha, who is Half-Elven Cleric Mage of Ogma.
Hi, I'm Diamond Worm, and I play Lankas Skipzaggle, who's a Tinker Gnome, Illusionist Mage, or Illusionist Thief, from Tinker Gnome from Kryn. Oh.
Okay.
I'm James. I play Ockar, human paladin from Brawl.
Hello everyone, I'm Salem Motor. I play Finnel'ar Mohani, a druid from Grayspace.
Hey there, I'm Zakhan. I play Lafdul Moonglade, an elven specialty priest and thief from Realm Space. His gimmick is coming up with fun titles every week, and his current title is, where is it? The Morbid Maligned Menace, because he's going to be doing something with dead corpses.
And for viewers who wish to give a player or Dungeon Master of your choice a little bit of an advantage in the game, 500 bits will get a reroll for them. Currently, Braxon has 1, Finn has 3, Ockar has 0, Lafdul has 1, Darrakar has 1, Solas has 0, Lankas has 1, I, the Dungeon Master, only have 10. So we left off last time. The party had arrived at the Gnomish port. It's not my job to name it, because it's not my job to name it, and it also wasn't the job of any of the gnomes there to name it, apparently.
I think it was Nigel Finley's
they
job.
just live there. It's not their job.
There was indeed some talk about casting Speak with Dead on some of the corpses that you had recovered from that ship that you fought that was filled with kobolds. So the kobold vessel,
Yeah.
along with the orc. That was not the captain. You could figure that out by body language and who was issuing commands and stuff like that. He was definitely powerful, but not actually in command.
Yeah, see if we can divine a follow-up adventure.
Hey, that means more fun.
We had time to rest, I assume, so I can change my spells up. So
Yes.
I haven't done that. I'm doing that now.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure if you said that you had that spell already memorized, but
No, had to be next day.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
and
what
I think
And-
Finn was talking about he could do time pool if we waited. So I think everyone was in the same boat.
I wouldn't cast an Aside the Tongue spell anyway, in case these guys want to be awkward. So I just need to look at the tongue spell, because I think it gives me multiple languages.
You could borrow Braxton's ring.
I don't think it works from a corpse.
Yeah, it wouldn't work with a spirit.
Oh wow! Yeah, of course it won't, because they're
dead.
Well, very clever.
They're not living creatures.
Well worked out. Old Dragon would have been laughing up his sleeve then.
It just says... this book's... Oh, there we go. 1 additional tongue for every 3 levels, so I can know 3 extra languages.
Okay.
You need to name the languages when you...
Yeah, Orcish, Kobold,
Koboldian?
and Undercommon, I guess.
I do speak Koboldish.
Yeah, but the priest also has to. Must be able to ask a question.
Yeah.
You know, this is so much simpler. This is so much simpler in later editions. Kobolds just speak Draconic.
Which is so weird. Which is so weird considering they're mammals.
No, they're not. They're lizard people in 30 and later, and they're better. I'll die on this hill.
I like lizard kobolds.
I like mammalian kobolds.
I-
Anyway, all right. So, did you guys come up with some questions?
Yeah, I got some questions. I will not. I will be casting Polymorph Self, and I will be not me. I don't want to appear as an elf. I mean, it might see through me anyway because I'm recalling it spirit or whatever.
Oh, interesting. You're worried that they might go off to the afterlife and grass you up.
It might give me some.
Oh, you could make
A
yourself look
creature
like
that
an
would
orc.
be reluctant to answer questions might be a little bit more forthcoming. I don't know. It depends. But whereas if I'm just an elf, elves and orcs don't get along. It's like drow and elves.
You're right.
I
You're right. We can.
I think that they would know that you are of a different alignment, though.
Yeah, they would know of a different alignment. That's fine. Chaotic neutral. I'm not that fast. It's not like I'm good. So
You're right. We could set up the scene, couldn't we?
yeah, I'm not too worried about that. I mean, there was a whole thing I was planning on doing with my apprentice, but it's very convoluted.
I don't think that illusions are gonna help in that regard. They're dead.
Polymorph wouldn't.
They're dead.
They would know what I am, what's recalling them.
At the
Well,
very
yeah, undead
least, they
doesn't
would
wor-
know that you're
Illusions
tricking
don't
them.
normally work on undead.
Like, it doesn't say anything about that, but I don't think you can trick. Like, just the nature of the magic. It's really set up to be an antagonistic. Like, either they're a similar alignment to you, in which case they would probably feel like some kinship, or they're not, and it's more likely to be antagonistic.
Are you saying I should just be upfront about it and not try anything, or?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna help.
Alright. Nothing like having an elf recall an orc spirit back and them glaring at you.
I mean, if the spell said that you can trick them, then you can. But the fact that you have to know their language and stuff like that,
Well, they can choose to speak in their own language, so yeah, that's their way around it. So if I can speak the language, then it doesn't matter if he speaks in a different language.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start with a kobold priest.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Obviously, the one with the highest saving throw, clearly. Against spell. Wow.
I mean, to be
Don't know
fair, like start with the one who's most likely to succeed. Get him out of the way first.
And he's also the least important one, well, as far as I was concerned, anyway.
Okay. So you have 3 of the Speak with Deads?
Yeah, free speak with deads.
Okay. And you get 4 questions.
I'd be doing this with the party, so it's up to them how they want to scribe stuff down, etc.
Okay.
So this is probably like Braxon's room or something, or somewhere private. I don't know. I'll clear out the helm room, kick them out. We're in there for now.
You've got like there's a mess room that you can use for that kind of thing too.
All right, yeah.
We could maybe take them back to their ship. We've still got access to their ship.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't
really
matter.
care. All right, yeah. So
there's plenty of
raise
rooms
up
that you can do this in.
the,
It's fine.
I do the ritual, burn the incense, and compel the spirit
Okay.
on the kobold priest.
Okay. So the spirit of the kobold priest rises up before you, and as you're about to ask your question, he flashes you a nasty grin and then fades away.
Is that one done with? All right, Captain.
Okay. He did make his saving throw.
Yeah, I figured he wasn't even going to wait around to see if I was going to ask a question. He was just no.
Okay. So the spirit of the kobold captain rises up before you and waits for you to ask your question.
Okay. Which one do I want to ask first? I'm looking at the questions. I'm just thinking. Name. Yeah, I'll start with the last one. Name the last place you resupplied in the sphere. See if the spell's working or if this one's not being coy or not.
All right, you already casted tongues to get kobold, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he asks that in kobold, I'll just reply in kobold. Ask the question in kobold or something. I don't know.
I mean, you would probably ask it in kobold then.
Yeah.
Like, just to speed things up. And it responds, "We haven't resupplied in this sphere except from ships we've fought."
All right. Name the
So they don't
place.
have...
Name the place where you met the orc who was fighting aboard your ship.
He gives you the name of a sphere you've never heard of. You can write it down, but I do not have that information.
All right, it's something I will include in my report to pass on to the Elven Imperial name.
Yep.
So. Well, the other question was, what was the name of your home port? So I assume that might be the same, or these are the questions I had for him. So.
Okay.
The orc's got something different. So yeah, was it the same for that question?
No, it's going to be different. I need to look that up, though. Give me a second.
Oh, interesting. He met
You could ask what was their mission.
that was the orc thing.
I mean, Captain would also be able to tell what they were hired to do.
Well, so he gives you a world name. You do not know it, and you don't know if it's within that sphere that he mentioned.
No evidence.
But it's clearly not in gray space.
And it's not something that anyone rest of the party would know.
All right, so I'm gonna look for the players. I'm asking the players, not this in character. Do you think I should ask when did the angel ship set off from Homeport, or should I change to something more important, like?
Since they don't have a port in this sphere, I think the best we could ask is what was their mission, why they were spying on the gnomes.
Well, that's pretty obvious to me.
Yeah, but do they have some specific reason why they were spying for these gnomes? And
it's just glory. He was shouting it in combat, wasn't he? The gnome in the party, Lankas, told us.
Yeah, I think the fact that their home port is from another sphere does.
It would tell us how long they've been in this sphere, though.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be relative.
Do they have a base in this sphere? Do they have anyone that they're hooked up with in this sphere? Might be.
All right, hang on. I'll ask one of the questions that I was going to ask originally. Going to ask the priest.
But like, if you say home port, they'll talk about the place in the original sphere they come from.
So what about this question? I listed under the Kobold Priest questions. Is your group affiliated with a larger pirate organization or alliance? Should I ask that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. We'd want to know that.
All right, I asked that.
Okay. He answers that basically, like, he gives you a name, but it's a lengthy name that you'd basically be able to gather is a kobold nation of some sort.
No, no.
So, like, you got as a group, you can conclude a couple things from these answers. The ship is from out of the sphere, probably from goblinoid-dominated space, and came from a specifically kobold nation.
All right, so either the orc was, or this orc-like person was either from. Actually, no, didn't he? No, he named 2 locations. It could be in the same sphere. Or not be.
Could be the same sphere, could be different spheres. But, like, given that you don't know the names of these spheres, and this kobold indicates that he's from a nation of kobolds, yeah, like, probably goblinoid-dominated space.
Alright, I guess it's just the orc now. See if it works.
Okay. Alright, let's see. Okay. I needed to look up his saving throw. Alright, and the spirit of that orc rises before you and glares at you with a hateful expression.
I'm not hiding the fact that I'm an elf. I've got like full display on, as it were. That's that. All right. I'm asking for feedback on the players, but this is a question I'm going to ask. Where is the largest concentration of your organization within this sphere? I think that's a really good one to ask.
Yeah.
That would tell the elves where to go, essentially.
Yeah.
That's my first and foremost question. All right, I'll ask that one. I'll see if it works.
Okay. It answers you in a language that sounds familiar, but you don't recognize. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, no.
He's allowed to answer in another language.
I was asking this question Orcish, I assume. So somewhat Elvish Orcish. Intelligence.
Elvish accent.
Yeah. I'm assuming the party members are all writing down what he's saying, or at least trying to. Even if no one understands it.
People can if they want.
Yeah, I would have indicated to try to write it down, even if we don't understand the words.
So, it's a dialect of Orcish. It is different enough from Orcish that you cannot decipher what he's saying precisely. But there was an Elvish loanword in there.
Ooh.
Oh.
Not enough to for you to figure out what he answered.
What was the Elvish loanword?
It doesn't matter.
Question. This is a question to the DM that's based on what Finn can do with magic. Because this is an event that is happening and he has seen this event happen, could we time pull this in the future once we could potentially understand the language? So regardless if we don't understand it now.
There would still be a chance for failure, but having been a part of it, it's a very low chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but it would work because it's an event that happened. It was
Yep.
a spell that was cast. All right. That's cool. Then I'm not too worried about the fact that I can't understand the languages. I mean, that's that question. Alright, this is a bit of a fireball question. Fireball. What do you call it? back of the net, difficult question, far-reaching one. I'm not sure if I'll get a good answer out of this one, but I want to know this one. So I'm saying what the party members. I'm saying this to the party members so that they can give me feedback in case they think it's a really bad idea. But I'm going to ask him about.
Well, hold on. The party has discussed this in advance. You're going into this knowing this. Okay, so the players, yeah.
Yeah, the players. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to ask him, where did Target, the one he was working with the Newell a few years back, operate from within the sphere? I'm seeing if there's a connection.
I'm fine with that.
That's why I'm going to ask it.
Okay.
Fine. Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, so I'll ask that. Do you want me to re-say it out? Or?
No, it's fine. You're basically just asking. Yeah, I know what you're aiming for. He responds. He responds in a way, again, in this language that you don't know, but you can tell from his body language he doesn't know what you're talking about.
All right, fair enough.
You're still asking it in Orcish, correct?
Yeah, he can understand it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that he can understand Orcish.
It's not like every orc/scrow knows each other. Even in
what is this scrow? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, none of us know.
Where... Yeah, there's no business like scrow business.
You're fired. Pack up the things on your desk. Go home.
I'll be on Ord's Discord server later doing a karaoke version of that for his Patreon backers. No, I won't. He doesn't want to lose his Patreon backers.
Right, I'll ask the first one because it is still. Name the place you keep important objectives, be that trophies, prisoners, etc.
It says one single. He says one single word. Dukaksh. You don't know what it means.
Probably a name of.
It's pretty obviously a place name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely don't know what that name means.
It's outside of our purview, most likely, or in this campaign. So.
Yeah.
I mean, he said the name Tukash, right?
Yeah, none of us know anything about that.
None of us know about
we could still send that over to.
Oh yeah, we're writing it down.
That's looking into stuff.
Yeah, we will do. We'll send that all
on. Well, the last question, which I was going to ask him, is where is the largest concentration of your organization within the sphere?
Not Gilded Tongue, no, not Gald Dukat. We're not in Star Trek.
Yeah, no, I will ask that. Where is the largest concentration of your organization within this sphere?
Give me an intelligence check, please.
Yeah. Nope, failed by one.
Okay.
Damn it.
He answers, and you're not sure what it means.
Have I got 15 intelligence? I'm not sure if I had 13. I went to 14. I'm sure. Yeah, I did.
One off.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, we've got the.
But you know enough about what he said that it wasn't a place name. Like it was a longer answer than a place name.
So it's a location within something or somewhere.
Give me another intelligence check.
You got this.
I was thinking about.
Oh God damn it!
I was thinking about looking at the star charts or something, something.
So you started thinking about it some more, and while you don't know what he said, thinking back, because that was the last question, and he fades away. Thinking back to his body language, your guess is that his answer was something along the lines of, I don't have that information, I don't, whatever, but there was no place name. There was no place name in what he said.
Okay, so he was like, I don't know, and then disappeared.
Well, I suppose it's one of those things you say to the best of your knowledge, where is the largest concentration of your organization within the sphere. If you want to be more specific, but I didn't, so oh well. Oh, we got some information. Yeah, this would have been wrote down. I mean, I would have carried. Well, it seems someone would have been writing it down while I was channeling the spell. But
I mean, you have a full turn of asking these 4 questions, so you can also write them down. It's fine.
Yeah, I would include it in the report. Basically, what I asked, and as a group, we try to replicate what was said.
Yeah.
You know, several minds will at least eliminate the one person who's completely off.
None of you are linguists, however, so it's so each one of you who wrote down what you thought they said is completely different. You're like each of you will look at the others and like, those sounds weren't there. What are you talking about?
I tried to write it phonetically.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
and still, it was like the other people. You're like, here, look over this. What do you think? And the other people are like, that's not what it sounded like to me, by any
Mine
means.
are wide in the middle.
Now that we've heard this language being spoken to us in, is it a targetable spell?
No.
4 tongues?
No.
You would have to know the language.
You'll need to know more about the language. And know who these people are. You can tell that, like, I mean, it's still an orc as far as you can tell, but it's an orc that's different enough that they have their own language.
Alright, I look over to Finn. Is this something you could time pull if we have a way of understanding the language in the future?
Yeah, just let me know ahead.
Yeah.
Question to Finn. Would, from any of the names of places that Lafdul got told by the dead people, would you be able to attempt to time pull to see what those places look like, or would that automatically fail?
Well, it's not that it would automatically fail, but it would be a rather low percentage chance. Plus, I believe the spell is meant to find an event, not a place.
Right. Yeah.
We know that the kobold met the orc in a particular location. That would be a vague area, but is that vague enough for the spell to hold on to?
So you need singular events. Like it says the assassination. Hold on, the assassination of a certain king, kind of thing. And a king generally can't be assassinated more than once. So the first time, like the meeting between these two, where the agreement was struck or something like that, that is a singular event. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So that might be a way that we could get this to work, but but we don't know if we do or don't want to do that yet. But ultimately, it's Finn's choice.
Yeah, well, if he wants to do it, he'll do it, I suppose.
But that's also why, like, a ship leaving a port is not a singular event. Even the last time it left such and such port or a port, it's not a singular enough of an event kind of thing.
Yeah.
You would need to know the ship leaving the port on such and such date kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, the meeting between the two, that is a singular event that you could try. It will have a low chance of success, but it would have a chance.
Well, I did take one if you want me to try it.
They're going to speak in the same sort of languages, aren't they? So
only if they both know it.
No, I mean they're talking the same languages that they were speaking in before, maybe.
Well, they'd have to share a language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get
And
a
if it's a-
guarantee? Sorry, do you get a guarantee of success if you've previously succeeded? If you do the same event again?
No, but I get a 20% bonus to the roll. So
Is your
Yeah.
tongue spell still working, Lafdul?
Yeah, it lasts like long enough. I'd have to look at the spell, and it's fairly long.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. And if you wanted to say that you took 2 tongue spells just to be on the safe side, that's fine too. It's whatever.
Duration is 1 turn.
For
Yeah,
tongues?
I probably would have. I would have probably taken 2.
Oh, you would have needed to take 3 then. Can you take 3?
Yeah, if I didn't take polymorph.
Yeah. So the
I
reason that
mean-
you would have needed to take 3 is that you've got a turn of questioning, and if the spell only lasts a turn, that's 1 tongue spell per Speak with Dead. Now, you wouldn't have used all of them because the first Speak with Dead did fail.
Yeah.
So you have
the
1
second
more.
one worked, so I got 1. Yeah.
The clerical version of tongues lasts for a turn. The wizard version lasts for a round per level.
And I don't suppose Braxon's ring would allow him to
No.
piggyback off of Lafdul magically knowing.
No.
Yeah.
You probably would through Lankas, who actually knows Kobold, though.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Wait, what language do I know? I missed
Kobold.
Yeah, I know Koboldish.
Yeah.
So if they even... I
think
mean, maybe and you know Goblin, don't you, Braxon? So I'm just thinking if I cast a spell, I'm wondering what 3 languages we can try. Orcish, I don't need to know Kobold because Lankas knows Kobold. You know Goblin. So Orcish, Undercommon. Anyone know Undercommon? Lever used to know Undercommon. I don't know if anyone else does.
Nope.
All right,
No.
Undercommon, and what will be a 3rd language?
It's a bit gamey, but do any of our hirelings know any useful languages? No.
Well, okay. Actually, hold on. Whether they're useful or not, I had...
Well, some fan will know his local version. Is it a variant?
What
of
about
common?
Numerial? She was in the Navy, so she might have learned something useful.
Might.
I mean, language-wise.
She's a wizard. She's going to have a lot of languages.
No, she operates
Because
a
of her
helm.
high intelligence.
She operates a helm. That doesn't mean she needs to learn the languages of the enemies of the elves.
Yeah, I didn't really write down languages that she knows.
Okay.
But I did write down languages that Glau and Sunfayun know. Glau knows Orcish, Sunfayun knows Ogrish.
Okay.
Oh, Ogrish. Huh.
Maybe we'll invite them into the room. Braxon's definitely going to have his ring on then.
I mean, I don't really have any objections if our NPCs, I was, what do you want to call it? Non-standard career,
Yeah.
helmsmen and stuff like that, and
I'm
special
more thinking
people.
Oh, I was more thinking that if somebody says a word and none of us know it and they know it, they'll be able to tell us what the word is. So that means that Finn does that.
I very much
for a second time.
I mean, the odds of them not speaking Kobold or Undercommon are pretty slim. I mean, there's a chance they might speak that variant of Orcish again, but who knows? I think that's just a chance we take. I don't know what I'd pick for a 3rd language.
Well, I mean, taking Kobold for yourself for that tongue spell is a good idea, just so that more people can know what's being said.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, then I'll do that, I guess.
Here's a question. That language that we didn't know that was a dialect of Orcish, can you infer what that is for tongues, or do you have to know what the language is?
He needs to know more information about it.
I
Right.
need to know that it's a language.
You need to know who speaks it too. And not just this corpse. You need to know what that corpse is.
It sounded like it's a dialect of Orcish, but it could be just a really close relative to Orcish also.
It's the Orc Crow tribe.
Okay, so you ready to cast the time pool spell, Finn?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
So let's see. I'm not going to apply the 5% slightly informed event because I would not consider yourself even slightly informed.
Yeah, I basically only know that they met at some point.
Right. And
But
so what
I
is
do
the
get,
what
I
is the
do
bonus
get
for your
plus
wisdom?
15% for wisdom.
Okay. All right. So I'm also going to put a penalty on this because it's a distant sphere, a distant world that you have literally only just heard about.
Oh, you're doing that interplanetary. for every
Basically,
sphere removed
yeah.
Or something.
Yeah,
That 5%
basically.
Or something.
Because it's so far away, even if it was realm space right next door, functionally speaking, it's like the spell was not
remote.
written to take into account.
Multiple planetary.
Yeah.
Not planetary. What do you call it?
Okay, interplanetary, intersphere. Yeah. All right.
Interplanar.
It's not interplanar because it's all the prime material plane, but it also doesn't take that into account. All right. So the spell does fail. You do not get a vision. That does not prevent you from trying again later, if you want, but it is you are realizing that it's a low chance.
Okay. For a reattempt, is there stuff we can do to boost the chance? Like do this in a druid circle or something?
No, only to learn more about the event in question, and I can't think of anything offhand. Like, you guys can go through what you have to see if you have anything that might work. Offhand, I can't think of anything that would give you more information about it.
No, I don't think we.
Yeah.
I don't think we know anything. We're not even sure that the guy working with Red Newald was connected to this guy.
Right.
No, but you never know. I mean, they both operate within this sphere, but they could be independent agents. So.
Yeah.
Or be from two completely different groups.
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
yeah, I don't think Solas has any idea how to make it more likely to find out.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for trying, Finn.
Now, I will say, this is not something that can be tried every day or anything like that, but there's no, like, the chance isn't going to go down if you try it next week or something like that. So,
what was that thing I was doing all the time? You did time me doing to the point where you just said no.
I
can't remember.
don't remember. I know Leva was casting, I think, strength or something every day, and I was like, I need a little bit more specific, so I don't have to roll checks to do something.
Yeah, because she's a mage, so.
Well, the one thing I would say is the reason I asked people to hold off on scrapping the ship and us selling it for scrap was if there was a chance that we could find a base and use this ship to sneak into the base to attack the base, but it sounds like we haven't got a lead on that.
I think you can conclude that at least where this ship is concerned, any base they might have related to this particular angel ship is not in this sphere.
Yeah. So we can sell the ship for scrap now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone's patience waiting. Unless someone else has a reason, Braxon will go and
I'd like to
he's
hand
not
over.
going to walk out the room, but he'll go and shake hands with the gift guy that's in charge of security and let him know that we've concluded that this doesn't come from a base within the sphere and we can't use it to infiltrate that base.
He'll be appreciative of that information.
Sorry?
He'll be appreciative of that information.
Yeah.
Sorry, I overspoke someone else. What?
I was thinking about somehow, well, this is a bit grim, holding on to the orc corpse to give to the elves.
No. There's
no.
There's no point.
Even they wouldn't want it, or
by the time you could do that, I don't think there's gonna be it's gonna start rotting and everything like that, and
it would be unsanitary.
Yeah.
Also, it would be morbid, so morbid that not that many people on the ship would like it.
Yeah. Bodies aren't cargo like that. That's pretty gamey, I find.
You have to do very specific things. And very
I'm not
specific
doing it for
spells.
me.
No, I know.
I
understand.
They can just do whatever they want with it. I don't care.
But that's pretty gamey. Think of it
Unless
this way.
Think
of it this way. Speak with dead, even though it's not exactly an uncommon. It's not an uncommon spell by any stretch. But priests of sufficient level to cast it are not common. It would generally take effort to organize the usage of that spell by other organizations. So it is not something that is routine by any means. So keeping corpses around just to cast Speak with Dead on them all the time, it's just not done.
And if you want to do
is there no kind of gentle repose spell?
Not really. There's a few spells that can preserve
necromancy
things.
Ones.
There's a few spells that can preserve things, but it's still.
Yeah. If you really, really wanted to preserve people like that, you'd have to be doing things like Flesh of Stone.
Or Oil of Timelessness, or...
Yeah, I do have Oil of Timelessness, but it's fine.
It's morbid.
Yeah, that is pretty morbid. I have to agree there.
And again, what's the
Gentle Repose was also my go-to for doing it, but still, that is.
So, here, I'll put it this way. The average spellcaster who could cast Speak with Dead is only able to speak with a corpse that's a week old. And you're already a couple days into that.
Oh, yeah, I realized. Unless you've got a way of just putting in time stasis.
Even that, it is based on the amount of time since the creature died, not how badly decomposed the body is. That doesn't matter. Keeping the body preserved only helps your ship to not stink. That's all there is there. You can cast Speak with Dead on bones. That's fine. But the point, my point being is that by the time you got this to the elves, they would need a priest of
a priest of Legolas who can do 10 years.
Yeah, but still talking about fairly high level and stuff like that. Yeah,
that kind of level clerics and priests are rare.
Right.
At most, I might be able to identify what corpse it was, but even then, that's iffy.
So keep in mind that, your 9th level, you can get a year, but that's pretty rare. 9th level priests are pretty rare.
Yeah.
So, no, that's what I was getting at by it being gamey to just keep it around.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're advocating that we dispose of corpse, and we dispose of said corpse.
Yeah.
I mean, we can just give the corpse to the gnomes and they can bury it or just
I'll use its fertilizer.
launches at with their waste.
I mean, like they'll just jettison it.
Yeah.
If you
Makes
really
sense to
wanted
me.
if you really wanted to pass on information to the Elven Navy, probably getting a decent sketch done of the person, and their items, any insignia they have, any symbols.
Well, generally speaking, when I write a report of who I've encountered, I'm being presumptuous, but I presume I would be writing details about a character.
Yeah.
What they look like and stuff.
But if you don't kill someone, you can't search their body to make sure they don't have a tattoo of a skull on their left arm that's underneath their armor. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you wanted to be thorough, rather than sending them a pickled body, you could have a check to see whether
I'll
this guy
see. All right, yeah.
has got anything
Identify
unusual
marks.
about him.
In general, I'm assuming you're doing reasonable thoroughness on
Yeah.
your reports.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't need every single time for you to detail out. You know, at this point, if you say I am writing up the report to send on to the elves, then everything relevant that you as your character is aware of is being included, as far as I'm concerned. Now, given the fact that this ship was preying on gnomish vessels, you might want to send duplicate reports by different ships,
Mm-hmm.
just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily sending off that report. I'm just writing it up at the moment because I assumed at some point we are going to meet up with an alias. But is the indication that it's going to be multiple months, so I might as well send it off ahead of time.
Standard procedure would be to send off information that you have right now with a messenger. Like none of this is secret, as far as I mean.
Didn't we get an Elven Imperial Navy messenger in this place, or was that a series?
Not on this.
Was it?
Gnomish port.
No, it was a series.
Yeah.
And it was just a messenger who came and delivered the message and left immediately after.
Yeah.
Didn't even stay to listen to response.
Well, we can search to see if there's an elven representative, and if there is,
isn't.
we can give them a message.
You'd already be aware of them.
And okay, fair enough. So we can send
Just
two messages.
send two messages.
Bearing in mind that we're about to go off to the death mission.
Yeah, there's no guarantee.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that you might die. You might die. So
at least give the elves something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it not be such a a death fallacy. I'm trying to think of the right word.
I mean, elves might even appreciate the knowledge that they have specifically hired somebody to watch this gnomish colonies that might allow them to intercept another ship that is spying or
and
hunting
ships
here.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Numerial can tell you that with the information that you provide, they will almost certainly alter patrol routes to get this place patrolled more frequently.
Yeah.
Based on her experience.
Would anyone have a problem with us giving a copy of the report to the gift?
Yeah, well, right.
The gift that's in charge of security on this port.
Yeah, in case another elf vessel eventually. I don't
No,
know.
not
to give it to them.
In case it stops gnomes from being murdered by pirates.
Yeah, we would have conveyed. Well,
I think we've already give enough information to know that there is pirates that are hunting.
Yeah, when you said that they're from outer sphere, I assumed you gave them a rundown of what, or at least anything non-sensitive, a rundown. And generally, I don't think we learned anything sensitive.
I mean, the only thing we learned was the name of that orc from. Where that orc that escaped with the Spirit Warriors went, I think.
That was
We didn't
Targok.
learn anything about him during this.
I thought we learned like a place he went to.
No,
No,
Dark
he
we
just
learned where
Crotch?
disappeared. We lost him.
we
No,
learned
you're.
where this
Hold on,
orc
hold on,
was.
hold on. I think you're thinking of the answer to the question that was basically like, where do you keep trophies and stuff like that?
Oh,
Someplace called Dukosh.
Dukosh.
Whether that's related or not, you don't know.
I mean, I figure that's.
Yeah, you
I
can
figure
you
that-
can come to those conclusions on your own, absolutely. But
So
the information
I'm-
isn't there.
yeah,
to
I'm going
confirm
to
that.
mention that I think that might be something a bit more sensitive and something we might want to sending over to Linelius as a place to maybe look into.
I'm thinking that it's enough that if we send a couple different versions of the report on two different ships, that one of them gets through would be enough. I don't think it's a.
Yeah.
Lanelius is on a secret mission currently. It's not like
No, any
he would be
high-ranking
able to
officer
send.
will-
It's not like he would be
Yeah.
able to act on the information any faster
True.
than
I
what
just
our
thought that
messengers.
he was like the main one in charge of like looking into it or something.
No, he was just
No.
a commander of a base who
Okay.
failed in his duty and probably was demoted.
But,
as
yeah.
things
He actually
go.
was not
Okay.
commander of the base. He was commander of guards on the base.
Oh, he wasn't?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he was a
wasn't that high
lieutenant.
ranked.
He's a lieutenant, so he's not the admiral of the sphere, so he can't drop
No,
everything.
well,
No, but he also was not in charge of the overall.
I thought he was.
No.
That's
He
why
was just-
I've...
He was
just a lieutenant.
Yeah, he's in charge of the guard in there.
That's probably why he was alive last. They
Mhm.
probably went through all the higher level people first.
Well, they were getting information out of him because they had a priest of
Oh, I
Lavatar
still think that's
on him.
I still think that's a tidbit we should send either to him or to the Elven Navy.
I mean, it's going to be included in the report.
Yeah, it's going to
that
be
Lafdul is
included in
going
the
to send.
report.
So,
Okay,
Lafdul is going to be, at least from what I gather, Lafdul is going to be sending basically the whole speak with death as detailed as possible, recreated in the report.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Braxon will make a report for the gift then, and he will make sure there's nothing in there relating to the other thing that has anything to do with that other orc that we met before.
Targok, basically.
Yeah, there'll be nothing in there about that. There'll only be stuff that we gathered about this ship. So any questions where you asked
Mm-hmm.
if you know the other guy, he will leave any of that out, and it'll just be, we believe they're from a sphere called this, they've been to a planet called this, and they've got trophies in a place called this, and they said they were allied with these people.
Okay.
You know, so it'd be that sort of stuff.
All right.
And I think that's what you know, when they talk about security being on a need to know basis, that's what they need to know. And Braxon will then ask the GIF if any of those words have any meaning to him, if they've got any sort of information system that he can check.
They will not sound familiar to him. He will
Okay.
check on that, but you'll quickly get a response that they don't have any records of any of those.
Yeah, I figured
Mhm.
no.
But he does
Well, I
thank you
figured
for the information that you do provide, and he will be keeping an eye out for
Yeah.
more
I-
of these ships.
I will send out multiple copies. I'm going to send one to... I'm going to 2 copies of each. So I'm actually going to write 6 letters. One's to each of the 3 places, but one's also a backup in case it doesn't end up going there. One was
Right,
gonna
right.
Be...
So hold on. Like,
the same Elven report is going to 3 different locations.
so how many
case-
different ships do you need to talk to?
Now, one is being sent to Realm Space to my brother because I'm just sending it there. One's
Okay.
being sent now. Another one's being sent to Lanelius, to an Elven Imperial base somewhere, to him at some point. Hand it over to him. And the third one would be wherever the elves operate in the sphere. I cannot remember where that was. In general, their biggest place.
So, right. So
basically,
like elves have an outpost on Ceres, and they can then redirect any information.
Yeah, that's where one of them will be going.
I think you are making this too complicated.
Yeah, your best bet is to just send 2 copies of whatever you want to send to Ceres. If within that packet of messages, you're then asking them to go to specific people within the Elven Imperial Navy, then you're just asking them to with their own systems to deliver them.
All right.
And the idea is to send it by 2 ships just in case one of them gets attacked by pirates. Like, this Kobold ship may not be the only one watching this port.
Yeah, I'll pay for sending it off. How much?
Okay, so 30 gold pieces for each one.
60.
Yeah, no need to overcomplicate it.
Right.
Could we tell from the angel ship what they were trying to get from the gnomes, other than just murdering people?
The sphere, I think.
There were definitely you picked up some information from the burnt documents, and it was scouting related, like scouting out force strength and stuff like that.
And that was also information that we would have included on the reports.
Yeah.
They clearly wanted some giant space hamsters in their army.
And also they mentioned that there was some operation that this ship was involved in Tier space. But the information that we got from the notes was quite limited due to how badly damaged they were.
Yeah, it'd be like from these burnt and broken records we ascertained that from they're working from this.
Yep.
Yeah. I think
that's all done, other than whether or not we're scrapping the ship or selling the ship, or what are we doing with the ship?
We are selling it.
Yeah, we're selling it for scrap.
I'm trying to refresh myself on a little something old. So when we met with the lady back in Ceres,
Lady Bethia.
Lady Bethia, to get for the monitor thing, I was given like a plant, right?
Yeah.
And what am I supposed to like hold that up and like call out like the name of the monitor? Or
yes.
How was that supposed to work again?
Yeah.
What was the monitor's name exactly?
Rixtia.
Can you Can you type that out in Roll20?
Sure.
Was that when we're near the Dark Star?
Yes.
And I'm basically giving her the plant.
No. The plant is the conduit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a summoning. Wow. The Riga way of
describe the plant
sending.
like? Didn't all describe the plant like it was some kind of speaking horn or something?
It would definitely remind you of that. Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to remember the process because I didn't write it down last time.
Yep, that's fine.
Is everyone okay if we share the item, split the items that we got from the kobolds? Have everyone had the time to put their interest in?
Yeah.
Let me double check.
While you guys are double checking that, Braxon, you want to sell the angel ship for scrap?
Yeah. Because my potential plan of using it for an invasion is viable.
That's fine. All right.
We can turn that into money.
So you can get 3,000 gold pieces for the scrap.
So we just put it straight in the company funds rather than splitting it.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think.
does that count as a
I-
trophy?
It
thing
counts
that
as
needs to
it
be
counts
split?
as trophies. The crew needs a.
I think some of that has
share.
to go to the crew.
Yeah.
The crew did risk their
All right,
lives.
no, that's
to
fine.
capture
Sorry, I forgot about that.
No, that's fine.
I mean, we can just do it that way that we give the crew share and put rest of the 3,000 in the company shares.
If everyone wants to do that, there might be somebody
Yeah.
that wants their share. Is
Yeah.
anyone
I
want
would-
their share?
I would say, hold on. Let Finn break out the shares, and then if anyone wants to put their shares back into the company fund, just let him know so that he can then add that into the company fund, rather than
Okay.
discuss it. Like,
Yeah.
that's just going to be a lot easier, I think. Unless you disagree, Finn.
Oh, if it was
No. This one actually broke out pretty evenly, so.
Okay.
I mean, if it was anonymous, what's the word when everyone agrees? Anonymous.
Unanimous.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's also the thing that somebody's PC might have run out of money, and if other people say we should all put our money in, they're then in a position where they have to say, actually, I want my money. You know.
So,
Whereas
just
it's
to
easier.
just to
Posted
real
it,
quick
so-
address something. Like, so in general, it is probably best to split the money up because the crew is going to need their cuts from most of the things you end up doing.
Yeah.
And then if individual people want to put their money, like they're like, I'm good on cash right now, and I want this to help go towards building out the asteroid or something like that, then they can just say individually to Seelan, hey, put my cut back into the company fund.
Question for you all.
Oh, also before you do that, keep in mind that the paladins have to tithe, so they need their cut.
Yeah.
If whatever is left,
that's true.
So, keep that in mind. So yes, go on.
My question: a couple of the players have got like a secondary character or cohort or whatever it's called. Is the player allowed to not take their cut? Do they have to have their money?
The henchman has to get their money. Yes.
Right. Yeah, I thought so.
All right.
Okay,
I was
so
going to
they
say
need to get paid anyway. Okay.
Well,
yeah,
it's not necessarily
was like he'd want the money.
It's
he
not
doesn't have that much.
Right. So it's not that they're being paid because they're not hirelings. They're henchmen. They're getting a cut. But they're getting a half share.
Yeah.
Like I always make sure Gracie gets her share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lamar's got his, but the main character, Lafdul, main character.
No, that's cool. It just means we don't.
Sharing.
It just means we don't have to have this discussion again because the henchmen need to get paid.
Yeah.
Because from their point of view, although you're running them as a secondary character, they've come into this and they're trying to progress, and then they're planning on buying a pub or something later or whatever.
Yeah. As Finn's post it, can people make a note if they are putting a share on or not? So, for Finn, just write it so he knows.
Okay.
It can also be handled in between sessions. Okay. So you paid out for those two messages to be sent?
Yeah, I've given money for that.
All right.
I always collect my share for tithing purposes.
So let's see. Item-wise.
Well, I mean, we do good things.
We're not a lawful good company.
How much is your tithe, Ockar?
10%.
So you could take 10% of the money and tithe that. I'm not telling you what to do, but you could take 10% of the money to tithe and put 90% back in if you wanted to.
I could, but I'm also it's complicated. Stuff.
That would make Finn's job a nightmare for such a little amount.
It's also that I don't want to make his job too troublesome with that, and I'm also trying. I also need to I have a big purchase, and I'm trying not to get below the threshold of money there when I'm also doing purchases while we're going around.
That's fine. Nobody's allowed to guilt trip anyone else into not getting paid.
So also, a couple other things, like Ockar specifically wants to eventually build a fortress on Green Shield.
Yeah.
And he is allowed to hold money to go towards that. But in general, any money that he doesn't need, that doesn't go towards his personal maintenance, like food and board and things like that, he needs to donate. That's beyond the tithe.
Yeah, I've always had.
Just the means to
I've
survive.
been retaining wealth, but I always have a goal for that.
Yeah. So if he doesn't have a goal, then he can't retain wealth.
But
basically.
I have a goal.
Right.
I have like 2 different goals right now.
Yeah. Okay, so you wanted to do some item splitting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
start with the Wizard Scroll. If we haven't already sent that out.
Yeah, Wizard Scroll, there's Lafdul and Solas.
I
Gust
was
of
only
Wind.
interested if you weren't going to research it.
Yeah, Gust of Wind is a spell I have to research since it's a 3rd level spell and I am at
Are
the
you
cap,
going
so...
to?
Yeah, it's quite useful. I've already
No, that's
used
fine.
one.
I just need you to be certain about it. Then
Yeah.
I'll take my interest off.
I mean, it's also a
So you-
common enough spell that you'll probably get it on a future scroll, too.
I know.
Okay.
I paid a small fortune for a teleport scroll. He hasn't researched that yet.
Okay, so this is going to
Solas.
Solas. Okay, let me...
Okay, next is the Potion of Underground Awareness.
And there's 4 people that has put their interest in it. Darrakar, Finn, Ockar, and Solas.
I wonder if that's like a tremor sense.
Shall we do the roll-off then? 4 of us?
Sounds fair to me.
Okay,
Mhm.
D20, highest gets it.
Okay.
Dang it.
Solas of his cheaty like Hamlet.
Solas gets it.
Alright.
Priest Scroll, Invisibility to Undead. Lafdul's the only one who put interest.
I
Yeah,
have
so
access to that spell.
I'm the only one that doesn't, so...
Medium
Well,
medium
well,
size
Hold on.
triangular shield. Sorry.
So that was the invisibility to undead. That's going to Lafdul, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, medium size triangular shield decorated with a golden griffin. Moderate combat bonus. I'm the only one that put a interest in that, so I could give it to my squire.
Yeah, I've already got a medium shield, so... And... Yeah.
Okay.
My apprentice already has a +2 buckler.
So you're the only one that expressed interest?
Yeah,
Okay, so that goes to Ockar.
and then I
And
give it to Ingritha.
Okay.
And the last time we already decided that the portal detector is going to be company item that we put on the
Yeah.
second ship.
Okay.
So that is all the items dealt with.
Okay.
I need to write up a scroll.
I accidentally delete the checkoff boxes on the row I was clearing information from. Oops.
Use Control Z and then do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Leave the
Amazing.
kobold chip thing. I will check after the. I'll check after the game that it's on the sheet.
Okay.
All right. Is there
Okay,
anything
so-
anyone else wanted to do in It's Not My Job to Name It? Are you guys ready to set off?
Or death.
Yes.
I'm good to set off.
Death.
Only
Yeah.
thing that Solas would have retconned that before we rested, Solas would have gone to local tavern to spread some educational stories and listen to local lore.
Okay. You do your best, but you get peppered with so many questions about minutia by gnomes talking way too fast for you that it becomes eventually overwhelming. You share what you can, but it does eventually become overwhelming, and you have to flee back to the ship for your own sanity.
Question, Ald.
Yes.
Is that magic plate armor finished being repaired?
Or has it got enough of the parts that you can finish it on the trip?
Let's see.
You just didn't have the raw materials, right?
I think I said a week, right?
You said a week, and I started doing it before we left series.
Okay, a week has not passed.
Okay.
I
something he can
don't
do
think
on
you're
his
going to get it
own?
finished before the Dark Star.
It's probably worth waiting a couple of days for that.
Is it something that I could ask the party to wait until I finish repairing my armor before we leave?
Hold on a second, let me
Yeah.
recalculate. Hold on, let me double check.
I think it's worth it regardless. Because that's a huge armor class increase for you, isn't it? Like 3 or something?
Okay, yes, you'll finish it just before you get there.
Okay, good.
All right. Well, if you wanted more time, I was going to say, could we pay to get extra holy water made?
Was there holy water on sale here?
We already got what we got.
Not
on this
really.
part.
The temples here are fairly minor.
Okay.
Oh, we got it at the last place. That's where we got
Yeah.
the holy water, not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might have like.
You have a
one
lot
for,
of
like,
holy
the
water.
orcs or
It's-
something.
It'll be okay.
Yes, this lich needs more water, holy water for a shower. I'm
Okay.
not done torturing him yet.
So you guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think we are, yeah.
What route
Yeah,
are
I
you
think
thinking
so, too.
of taking? Like just same basic thing, get to this inner ring and go along there?
Quick thing before we leave.
Okay.
Should we buy 2 hit points for hull points worth of wood and fix our ship to max before we leave?
Yeah. We should.
Since we are
Yeah,
down
We should
2.
repair the ship, yes.
Okay.
And that would be up to Lafdul or Finn.
You got 2 people who can cast it, and you only need like
1.
I was
Yeah.
doing to speak with Dad, so I assume Finn would do that, and this is a guarantee.
it's
I'm presuming
Phil will
that.
do that.
yeah. All right. So 2 hull points, 200 gold pieces, and you can get the ship back up to full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just thought that it would be best idea to have full hull points before we leave.
No.
Yep.
That's fine.
So
I've forgotten about that
when
myself.
I get the armor fixed, my AC right now will be -2, and when I get started using the magic shield again, it'll be -4.
Is that +1 shield or more?
It is a +2 shield because this magic plate mail armor will give me an AC of 1, and then I have -2 from my dexterity adjustment, and then another -1 from using a normal shield. And there'll be a further -2 when I get the magic shield back.
Hmm.
So we've got, apart from that, we've got 8 whole points of wood on board. Are we okay with that little? I guess we're okay with that.
If we get into combat with other ships, we can salvage wood from them.
Also, there are this is an asteroid shell. If you spend some extra, if you get to a point where you need more repairs, you can search the asteroids for an uninhabited, an uninhabited asteroid that has trees growing on it.
Yeah, okay.
So it'll take time, but once you do, especially with shape wood, you don't need to form them into planks or anything like that. So
Okay,
as
long as Finn doesn't mind me taking trees.
Well, seeing as an asteroid is going to be a very small ecosystem.
Basically destroying.
That's what I was thinking.
But it depends. You can also plant trees, cast some spells to make them regrow.
There are ways.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if Finn will be happy with the practice of coppicing wood.
Let Finn decide that.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
pragmatic, so not just.
Finn
I
has
was-
no problem.
Nothing-
Finn has no problem with harvesting wood for lumber,
Hmm.
as long as you don't destroy the ecosystem in the process.
Yeah.
Finn is against clear cutting.
Yeah.
Question.
For whom?
That kobold's
For me?
plate armor.
Yeah. Okay.
How rare is it? This is the
Well, now
first
that
time I
you
think
know
I've ever
that
seen
this ship is from a kobold nation, or now that you can conclude that it's from a kobold nation, it's probably more common there than it is out here.
I don't know if I've ever seen kobolds with plate. That's all.
You haven't
I
seen
mean,
too many kobolds.
We went through a kobold town at one point in
That's
Cthulhu's
true.
Space.
Actually, yeah, that's true. You would have seen some kobolds in plate armor there.
Alright, it's not that rare.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, it's
uncommon.
it's rarer than human plate armor, but it's not unheard of.
Alright.
It's
Plate-
not like human plate armor is extremely common either.
Plate armor in medieval terms was about the same price as a Formula One car, right? So someone wearing plate armor is a very rich person, or they've murdered a very rich person, basically.
Or they have sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they have a sponsor. They might be working for a rich person, but like, if you see one kobold, they're unlikely to have plate armor. But if there's a whole planet of kobolds, there's probably quite a few kobolds with plate armor, and there'd be a kobold king with a crown and stuff like that. You know.
Okay. Is that affecting anything that you wanted to do, or what was the reason for the question?
No, I was wondering if it was just worth selling.
I mean, of course it's going to be worth selling.
Because I
It's a
don't
plate
think
armor.
it
The
was...
gnomes would just scrap it because it's not to gnomish
it's-
body size. They'll just reuse the metal.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Do you want to sell it
I'm
before you guys
nickeling-
go?
yeah, because I mean, I think it should, well, I would say go into company funds, but I guess it would have to be split again. It's going to be such a small amount. But it is plate
You can
armor.
you
Plate
can
armor's still
hold
worth a
right,
little.
but you can hold that the whatever you get for it until you get more money, and then lump it all together, and then split it so
Yeah.
that it's not
Yeah.
being split into tiny
Yeah.
bits. I mean,
I could probably make a weapon out of the scrap.
No, I was just thinking when it comes to like non-magical armor, generally plates around the value to weight. Well, value to weight. You know, it's at the point where you probably would keep it just to sell it.
well, I mean, you
It
could get
is.
about 50 gold pieces for selling
Can
Yeah, I
dwarves wear
Yes.
kobold armor?
it. No.
Are they?
They're even smaller.
Okay.
It's
I
also
think-
the fact that kobold armor was probably built with a tail in mind.
Yeah.
And they have
Mhm.
different limb structure as well.
I think your other possible reason for wanting to keep the armor, and it's not me
No.
telling you to keep it. The other possible reason is you was talking about having statues you could animate, so you could have a statue of a kobold and put the armor on the statue.
Wait, could I?
I don't think it would make any real difference overall.
They can only be hit by magical weapons anyway, so.
It'd be a nice trophy or conversation piece.
Yeah, I don't want to keep around a kobold thing, so anyway.
you selling
No,
it?
I'm not selling to, but like if you wanted to have what looked like a kobold from a distance walking around on the ship,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm not selling to keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
I'm
just
saying-
make
Thing
you could
with
just make a
anime-
regular statue and paint it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't have my statues use weapons because I don't have the what do you call it? The artistic ability to do the hands.
Right. So
With
do you,
shape wood.
do you want to sell it?
Yeah, so
As a group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
That's right.
rephrase. Let me rephrase. Are there any objections to selling it?
Nope.
None.
Okay.
50 gold's 50 gold. So
All right. 50 gold.
can add that to be distributed pile.
Yeah, I'd recommend you wait until you get more, lump it all together before distributing. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so you guys ready to set off?
Yep.
Yeah.
Base Death Incarnate.
All right, Braxon. What route do you want to take? Keep in mind that this is you are going like up the curvature of the shell. So
You said I've got to go 25 up, didn't you? So I need
Right.
to go.
Oh.
I can go. So hang on. I'm gonna go out to here, obviously. So if I go one up each time, I'll be going 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, 4 up, 5 up, 6 up, 7 up, 8 up, 9 up, 10 up, 11 up, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'd still not be there. So we've got to go another 9 up. So should we go 9 vertically first and then head straight towards it? Or should we go under it and then head upwards? I guess we can go under it and then head upwards. They're going to know we're coming.
the
Either way.
the farther up you get, the lower the encounter rate is. Because the further away you are from the plane of the ecliptic, the less settled the sphere is.
Okay, we'll go we'll come out and then we'll go up. We'll go up the 9 first then.
Okay.
So you said it's 2 things to come out the asteroids, didn't you?
No, it's 2 to go in. It's only 1 to come out.
Oh, 1 to come out, and then I've got another 4.
Yeah.
So I'll go up 4.
Okay.
In that first day.
All
Should I put a +4 somewhere?
No, it's fine. I'll keep a note. Okay. All right. So
conveniently, the next day I'll go up another 5, which is 9, and then it'll just be we go up diagonally.
Yep.
At some point during this journey, I will have finished the first segment of my statuette.
Okay.
So I do need to make a check on that at some point.
All right. So you got a few days to get there. Does anyone have anything in particular that they want to do during that period? Obviously, Lafdul is finishing his statue.
Well, I'm repairing armor.
All right, Ockar's repairing armor.
Did we get wards on all the doors and everything done?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm fine with that being done.
Yeah, I'd be doing weapon maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just say we stay on a heightened sense of alert, knowing that where we're going. Just keep people on watch.
Okay, so what Braxon wants to do while we're on the way up is he wants to do a full inspection, and he's going to be looking for places where undead can try and leverage their way into the ship, and if there's anything like that, secure it up.
Okay.
You mean like tarring up any holes?
I'm figuring when we get to the Dark Star, we're going to have our crew holding out things as you know, to block people from getting in. The hilt, we're probably going to need some crew to be held up in the rooms there. There's no way for them to get directly from there to the rest of the ship.
Oh, that brings up a point. Do we have food on the hill in case we have to abandon ship? Heaven forbid.
Some of the stuff is stored up there just because that's where major cargo, like in terms of the amount of cargo space that you have, a lot of it is on
I'm
the
just
hill.
saying, as long as we have food there.
I'm fine with you having food there.
So I'm going to want the crew to do drills where we assume that the ship's being attacked by undead and they have to lock down and secure themselves into cabins and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say, and I was thinking about this during the week. Chances are most of the doors you have are barrable from the inside.
Yeah.
So rather than locks, most of your doors will have bars on them.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Especially those accessing outside. Okay. Solas, how about you?
How
Did
long
you-
is the trip to Darkstar?
It's less than a week.
Didn't you
Okay,
do something
then,
with acid?
I did prepare acid for the crew,
That's already done.
the party members. I bought and paid the materials and.
I mean, it
I
could just
wasn't
be
sure if it
general,
was-
general relaxation,
Yeah.
studying, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
yeah,
That's fine.
it's going to be that since there's nothing major that Solas can do within a week.
Okay. Lankas,
How many days?
less than a week. Looks like about 5.
I'm just trying to figure out what, because I still have plenty of slots for the simple learning, for the first tier of learning spells. So,
Is that a day level? Or is it day?
It's
just
basically a
any
day
spell?
day per spell.
yeah, until I reach my.
After which you will have to do normal spell research.
I'm gonna do strength.
Okay.
Yeah. So how many days? Just so I know how many I can try to learn.
5.
You said
Assume
less
5.
than a week. Okay, 5. Okay. Strength, I'm pretty sure is. Oh, yeah, that passes.
All right. And then number of
Strength.
pages.
Oh, right. Number of pages first.
All right, 6 pages.
Oof. Yep. And the other one was going to be continual light was I think what I was going to do next.
Okay.
So
I'll take that
again,
49
or
for it.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Pages.
Okay.
That class does divination or universal for wizards.
What, continual light?
Yeah,
It's not divination.
universal.
I'm pretty sure continual light is. Let me double check.
Should be universal.
It's probably
I
universal.
wasn't sure. That's
Light
why I
is
was checking.
alteration.
That's
Oh.
what I thought. Yeah.
It might also be universal, though.
But it's alteration most likely because it's especially if you cast it on an item, it kind of alterates the item.
It alters the amount of light around you. That's what it
Yeah.
does. Basically, emanating from a point. Most points do not emanate any light, but with that spell, you're altering it to emanate light.
That's 9.
Let me actually double check the see if it is universal, because you do not actually have to roll for universal spells.
Oh, really?
Is there universal? No, it is not.
It's alteration.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right.
That means I didn't have to roll for knock lock, which is actually a universal.
That's true. Yep.
But oh well. I succeeded anyway, so it's fine. Trying to remember what misdirection does, but it is on my wish list, so let's go for that one.
Oh, Mister, I get that as a granted power next level.
Nope. Jeez.
Okay.
I'm like.
It's because I spoke. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
I level curse. Not the
Okay,
Lankas curse.
You cursed. You cursed.
Anyone with an L name gets cursed.
Levitate will be next. Okay.
All right.
Oh, Max.
The complicated spell, clearly. What did you roll on
one
that?
more.
Misdirection
Mighty.
basically changes information that other people would get from divination spells targeted on you
Ah, yeah.
or
no, that, yeah.
on an object.
Really good.
Yeah, that actually would be good to have. But sadly, I can't learn at this level.
Okay.
Let's do deafness as my last one.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
The illusion spells are not coming to you.
I want to point out that I have a 75% chance base and
Plus
and,
15, I believe, for illusions.
yeah, and plus 15 for illusions.
Yeah.
But I've failed 4 times learning things in the past, like, out of like dude. Okay, I've failed 4 and I've passed 4 in the past few tunes. And I have like a 75% chance.
Yeah, it's
so I've been getting really unlucky.
that happens. I mean, that's what happens when Lafdul speaks. We've discovered this. Okay. All right, so you'll get those one each day, or make an attempt one each day. That will be it for now. All right. Let's see. And
I'm just wondering what kind of experience this is for Lankas, because he's like, I get access to all these spells. They normally cost me a fortune in Brawl.
maybe he's just like overexcited. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah? So Ockar is repairing the armor. Finn, how about you? Anything you want to do for those 5 days?
Well, before we left port, Finn would have bought 3 braziers and 3 kettles.
Okay.
And he's going to set them up in strategic locations for the crew and leave one of his preparations of Ghost Root at each one.
Okay. Is there
an
area of effect on that?
Yes.
Okay.
I have to get to it.
Are they going to act like barricades for that location, or?
Pretty much.
Because we'll want to think about where the best places for those would be.
Also, Braxon's back door for one of them.
Is it worth us taking the plants in? I know normally we want the plants outside.
What do you mean?
There's plants on a balcony, right? The creatures can't get in the ship, but they can attack the plants.
Generally, unless there's an area of effect spell, I'm not going to be worrying about that. Like they're not going to intentionally do that.
As long as there's enough of a plant that I can regrow them back from.
Okay.
I'll be happy. Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting at some point a lot of them will get destroyed. Unless I don't use all of them. It'd be a sad day if that happened.
And again, like I think that you've probably taken some precautions to give them some protection from just weapons fire and things like that. I'm not.
Yeah.
Unless there's a specific result that that looks like it might affect the plants, I'm not bothering with anything like the plants get affected.
We've paid for netting, and we have to get it repaired periodically. So I'm assuming we'd cover the plants with the netting,
yeah,
as well as the decks.
I mean, it's also an emergency entanglement if anyone goes through there.
That's true. You can do
if you cast attack, you lose the plants, but it might be worth it.
Did you figure out the area of effect, Finn?
Yeah, I was just waiting for my turn again.
Oh, sorry.
It's 10 feet.
Okay.
Like a 10-foot radius from the brew.
Okay. So 20-foot diameter. Let me bring you over to the deck plan real fast. Because also you'll want to figure out where you have crew stationed. Just kind of like general combat situation, and where they are right now can be fine if that's your general combat. Like once everyone is mobilized, are the people going to be in those places? Then that's fine. Let me go ahead and get these. Clear them up. Okay.
Who's the show looking guy on the far left?
So you might want to like mark down where you want them as well. Keep in mind that the deck of the hilt is connected. Like it is where 2 is in the on the surveillance deck. So think of that when the hilt is docked. Think of it essentially as like a continuous deck there, filling that area.
Mm.
So what are you thinking,
Would I?
Finn?
Sorry. Finish with Finn first.
Finn? Are you muted?
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? Put one basically there at the stairs. So they can use it to keep undead from coming down the stairs. We'll keep one back here. And we'll keep one up here. Move that over a little bit.
So you want them inside, not out.
Yeah, that way they can use it to block off doors.
Okay, so if they need to retreat.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so one will be right inside Braxon's cabin. One will be right inside the front deck main entrance, and one will be inside the. Okay, actually, that would be. Let's see. Stairs come down from the deck to here, essentially. Back here.
I see, I was on the wrong side.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And they would only last for one turn, but that will at least let them regroup and heal.
Yeah. Okay, and what are the effects of that specifically?
This mixture's luminous vapors repel undead. Any undead attempting to draw near must save versus spell. Failure prevents them from approaching within 10 feet of the steaming brew.
Okay.
Success allows them to ignore its effects. Once they save, they remain immune to the brew for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I remember what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think I mentioned this, but I can't remember if I did it. I want to make like little sliding barred doors that block off certain places. To sort of back up what Finn's doing. Like there should be a door on that place where you get into that room 2 on the shuttle hold deck.
Yeah, I mean, I think there would be a hatch up on top, like up at the top of the stairs that opens.
Yeah, and there should be doors. There should be doors on that front bit, and the 2 hatches. There should be 2 hatches on the stairs down from the where we've got the catapults.
The surveillance deck, you mean?
Yeah.
Where I'm pinging?
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be hatches there.
And I also wanted to make a hatch that blocks the gravity plane that people can use to turn the reverse gravity decks into, like, basically if undead get in, I want people to be able to, our crew, I want our crew to be able to block off sections of the ship so that they can stay holed up in their areas.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Do I need to draw all that on the map?
No.
Okay. Question for you all.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Finn, have you finished?
Well, aside from training the crew on how to use the ghost root, the only other thing he's going to be doing is working on using the spear.
Okay. All right, so Braxon? You were saying?
Okay, so yeah, sorry, Finn. So I looked at the hilt, and it seems like I won't say it's a design flaw. I mean, obviously, we've got the entrance to the hold here, number 3, which we can obviously bar from below. But it seems like these rooms here, 4, 5, and 6, on the main deck, there doesn't seem to be a way down from there.
No.
To underneath. So I'm wondering if we could make a hatch that people can open that's not ideal, where they can go down with a rope ladder, because then we could turn this area 4, 5, and 6. There might be some cooking facilities there. That's the captain's quarters.
There'd be very basic stuff there.
Yeah. So it's got the helm room, captain's quarters, and a chart room.
So I mean, the main thing is like the entire lower deck is hold. It's just separated into 2.
All right. So the captain's room, which we might not be using as a captain's room because there's quite a few of us. I'll probably want to make it. That's a fairly big room.
Generally, like when the hilt leaves and goes someplace else, standard crew bunk down in the cargo hold.
Yes.
With hammocks.
Well, what I'm basically thinking is, if we get attacked, the turret crew are going to have to go wherever they can get to. And if we have some crew on the main deck trapped in those rooms, and we have some people who go down the staircase and use Finn's kettle, I want them to be able to get from one place to the other place.
Well, keep in mind that if you put a ladder down, that would be a way for the undead to get around the kettle.
That's true. All right. Okay. I guess there's not much we can do about it then.
And I would probably also say that you're looking at a little bit more than 5 days' work to put in a hatch and ladder kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Well, then Finn's done this, so we drilled the crew to do what Finn says works.
Okay. Are you happy with where the crew are positioned? Actually, I need to.
Yeah, really. I mean, I think
dwarves up there for the for that.
I think where they're positioned, and they would retreat to behind where Finn told them to retreat to.
Okay.
I think that's cool.
This is primarily for like who is where in case like there's a critical hit that hits crew. I need to determine which section gets hit, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the crew on the surveillance decks, although they're on the same level as the battle as the hill, they would drop down the ladders and seal the entrances after them to protect the main ship.
Okay.
And the other crew would know that.
Okay.
Braxon will come up with some knock codes that people can use for a challenge, so that when someone knocks on the door, you know who they are and stuff.
Now, keep in mind one advantage of this the surveillance deck and the shuttle deck up there is that very few other ships are tall enough that enemy crew could cross over to there. Like, you would have to be boarding a something like a
whale ship,
or Cuddle Command. Like, those are two that would definitely be able to get crew into that top part. But like a hammer ship, they can't get up there without some other means, like ladders or climbing up lines or something like that. So just so you know.
I think what Finn's planned for would probably be most likely to needed if the enemy's got flying undead.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving you that.
Basic if the crew can't do anything about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not like
So
we
just
can
gonna
prepare
fight them.
for. It's not like we can prepare for 100% of the eventual possibilities what could happen.
I mean,
Oh, that's
it's a
fine.
reasonable expectation that we'll lose people. So
Okay.
That's fine.
you, like, Solas,
Mm-hmm.
you've been putting spells on your altar or whatever it is. I can't remember when you had your shrine on it. 'Cause you can store
That's you.
spells on there. Alright.
What?
You can store spells in it.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. That was all.
Okay. All right. So, second day of travel. The first day was uneventful. You guys are getting underway. Finn begins to teach the crew how to use the braziers and everything. Finn, for buying that stuff, we'll say total of 15 gold for all that equipment. And that's 3 full braziers with everything you could need to go with them.
Are they cast iron? Are they tarred or?
They would probably be brass,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, I need a brass. No, bronze brazier actually.
I mean, it might be that
spell.
the brazier itself is iron. I don't know. I don't know much about how those would work, but brass is pretty common as well.
Yeah.
It can be what Finn wants if he wants something else. I'm not too
Yeah, it's
concerned as
handle.
long as it's common stuff. Okay. All right. So Braxon, you can go ahead and move some more. Going straight up.
Okay. Yeah, Brax is
would be
going
fine.
straight up.
All right.
Sorry, Finn.
Yeah, brass would be fine because it just needs to boil water.
Yeah. Okay. And you'd probably teach the crew how to use that with, like, non-special stuff that just shows some smoke, so they understand what it's going to look like to an extent. Just some
Actually,
powders.
there is one thing that Solas would do during this trip.
Okay.
He would recharge his Wand of Lightning and Wand of Fire. Twice
Okay.
both.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably just use some of my cooking herbs or something like that.
Yeah. Or, I mean, like, you could have bought something that just makes some little smoke that for a couple coppers, so.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. 2 charges to each.
Yeah.
Solas? Okay. Let me find where those are. The Wand of Lightning and the Wand of Fire, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you? You can go ahead and move to the next block. That second day is uneventful. Braxon?
Okay, so the second day we went up.
Yeah.
So like now we're going.
Now you're going over.
All right. So now we're trying to go up, up one and up and to the right at the same time.
That's fine.
Yeah. So this is up and right.
Yeah. I mean, you probably would have been more, rather than straight up, but at a steeper angle, so you're gaining more height as you're going over. It's not too big of a deal in the exact positioning. Because again, like, it's also a sphere. It's just it's hard to show that. That's one reason why I would probably never, as a common sphere using this kind of layout, never have a planet that you're supposed to go to frequently that orbits, like, perpendicular to the ecliptic.
Yeah. So I can move 5.
Yep.
Where I go up and right.
Before we move, it's fine. It's still far away yet. During this travel, I would have mentioned to the clerics of the party, so Solas and Finn. They said about Well, when I asked my community, they said protection against unnatural cold may help us. That's something to remember. I'm just reminding you. So
Can we see if our Sunfion's got anything to deal with that?
I think he's got endure or something for a Shukin priest, whatever they're called. I forget.
Well, have a chat with him in case there's anything to do to protect the crew.
He's not going to have anything that works on groups of people. He can definitely take Endure Cold Heat, but that's a one person per spell kind of situation.
Okay.
I don't think I either have anything that would help groups.
No, there isn't much at low levels that helps groups.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that day is uneventful.
Okay. More diagonal stuff.
Yep.
1, 2.
Did we learn if it was unnatural? It was unnatural. We didn't learn if it was magically unnatural.
Just
If
that
it's
just that
unnatural.
we know that it's unnatural cold. That no matter how much you put on clothes, it won't help.
As I understand,
But
the
in
best way to deal with it
theory,
is light.
Sorry, what was that? Ockar, you're
As I understood it, based on what we were told, the best way to deal with it is light. It's like cold darkness.
yeah, that's against. Well, yeah. I
There's
think there was-
unnatural darkness and there's unnatural cold that we are
But I
told
think
what
the
is.
coldness and the darkness are intertwined. I don't think they're separate things.
I mean, there might be. Who knows?
Well,
you
I don't
probably
think there
won't
was any
know until you
indication.
get to experience it. You
Mhm.
might want to prepare for as many eventualities as you can reasonably prepare for.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm taking a couple of negative plane protections in case the fighters have to go melee. So
I'm gonna.
useful.
I
to
know I'm
have.
taking a Dirk hold just in case.
Okay. Well, you still have some time, and of course, like once you get there, like you can stay away from it long enough to make some more plans or something like that. I mean, like it's an asteroid. It's probably not going to come after you.
You would. We just fought an asteroid that came after us.
I was about
Somehow
to
the
say.
party disbelieves the GM.
Probably not going to
We
come after you.
survived it.
It's probably not going to come after you. All right.
Well, just figured out what the Dark Star is. It's an undead murderoid.
Yes.
Oh God.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Oh, that is nightmarish.
So Braxon,
That's worse than the undead elder brain.
on your shift, second shift.
Yeah.
So this is Numerial, Lankas, Braxon, Lafdul, Darrakar. You are traveling along, and you drop out of spelljamming speed and immediately begin scanning wild space all around you for whatever caused you to drop out, because you are not close enough to the asteroids to cause that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like the main way that you guys are traveling is kind of like making, because again everything is curved. You're making straight lines, like what is it, secants kind of thing, bouncing between sections of the asteroids. But you're not there yet. At a point where you'd be turning. One of your Heradion watch calls out, "Captain, dark ship to starboard."
Okay. General quarters.
All right. Anything else?
Another. Anything else? Well, Braxton's gonna have a look at it with the spyglass, see
Okay.
if it looks like it's dead in the water.
It's always a good idea to immediately look to see what the ship is. So you bring up your spyglass and look at where your crew member was indicating, and you see this ship. It's an unusual ship. You've never seen it before. the design. It appears like some sort of animal with great big fixed wings, and its initial route of travel was crossing your route of travel, but it is turning away from you. So like it was going towards the asteroids, towards the grinder.
Right.
And it is turning to its port and pretty clearly attempting to outrun you now.
Okay.
Hey,
I guess we
found
might
more
have found
friends.
another ship for those pirates.
I mean, keep in mind, you're a big ship.
Every
It is
but,
small, and this
dark
is a
ships,
smaller ship than you.
Dark ships
So-
are suspicious.
The you know, like it could just be afraid that you
It
know,
could be.
you are pirates. You're just dangerous.
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't want to have anything to do with you. But they are turning and trying to outrun, and you see no other no colors or markings or anything like that, and it is too far to make out what is crewing it.
It might
Yeah, and-
be best to let them go.
If we attack them and we take damage, we might have to spend
mean-
time doing repairs.
We don't necessarily have to fight them, just close enough to get an idea of who they are.
Well, that's true.
Braxon can send them a message.
At least stay with and stop them from going to spelljamming speed if we can maintain their speed.
Braxon could send them a message. This is the blade out of. It's not my name. It's not my job to name it. Who are we talking to?
They do not respond.
These are most likely the same situation as with the kobolds.
Yeah.
Why does nobody respond?
Well, that's
So-
one more suspicious part
so-
on their side.
So quorum of who's awake. Do
Well,
we?
You're awake, I'm awake.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Someone else is awake.
called general quarters, I think everyone would be awake.
Yeah, you would have.
Lankas,
actually,
Braxon,
yes.
Lafdul, and Darrakar would be close enough to get this quorum.
Yeah.
So Braxon,
Yeah.
what do you say?
Do we let them go or do we go after them?
They might have information on the Dark Star.
Yeah, but they don't seem to want to talk to us.
You seen the size of our ship?
I know.
We
We
can
could-
always disengage.
Well,
Yeah,
there might be a
I think we
That-
should at least try to keep communicating with them for a while.
Okay. All right.
Not necessarily chase them down, but at
Probably
least
Yeah.
get.
Probably keep communicating, but also stay a distance so it doesn't look like we're trying to attack them or anything.
Okay. We'll follow them and
They-
try and. We'll follow them and try and keep the same sort of distance and send a message saying we would
Like
like
to resolve this diplomatically.
yeah, because they might legitimately think we're pirates.
Okay.
At least give them.
So you guys are all in agreement, basically pursue and keep messaging.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna go into the asteroid field. It's gonna make it a pain to them.
They turned to be basically on the same line as you, because they're trying to outrun you. And that is the
Okay.
fastest way to outrun. If they're going to outrun you, then going straight away from you is going to be faster.
Yeah, we're not going to try and catch them up. So if we're faster than them, we're maintaining the same speed as them.
Okay.
But if they're faster than us, they're going to get away.
All right. Well, we'll have to find out what exactly that is when we come back from the break.
I could tell there was a break coming.
So
Yep.
this is a good time to get up, stretch your legs, get something to eat or drink, and we will be back in about 10 minutes.
And the people
Okay,
on
thanks.
YouTube, they've got to go find another video to find out what happened.
And they only have to wait a few hours. It's fine. All right. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, everyone. See you shortly.
We'll see you then.
See you on the other side.